All right, welcome to the 79th episode. I told somebody today we were on 79th episode of the Revolutionary Code, where we bring the truth about how governmental politics actually works in every facet of human existence and how that affects our people, Black people here in America, Africa, and the diaspora. I am your host, Brother Tamani Mwandani, out of Houston, Texas. I am the revolutionary product of the Shrines of the Black Madonna's efforts to build a nation within a nation since 1954, and I'm very proud to be here. I'm also the founder of the Black Gold Nation movement. My co-host, the chief consultant for the Black Gold Nation's political strategy and implementation department, as well as the adult education division. He's also the chairman of LACE, Liberation Advocates for Community Empowerment. He's the intellectual gangster, corporate grassroots revolutionary, and master domino assassin from Shreveport, Louisiana, AKA the Boot, Brother Craig B. Lee. Brother Craig, how you doing this evening?
I am doing absolutely wonderful. Just coming back in from a political event, and I'm ready to get started, man.
Amen, amen. So as usual, really quickly, to give you guys some information about the Black Gold Nation, as always, we're not here to just inform and entertain or educate. We're trying to inform, entertain, educate for the purposes of trying to get you to do something. So we want everyone who sees the shows, everyone who enjoys the information that's shared, enjoys Brother Craig's colorful language and ways of expressing the truth. We're trying to get you active. We want to get you to do something so we can change the condition of our people, to put ourselves in a position of strength. Because as we always say, what happens to us happens because we don't have the power to stop it. So we need to get us some power. So again, we're trying to inform, educate, motivate, mobilize, organize, and build. Everything we say and everything we do is about bringing our people together to find the right people so we can build something that matters, something that has power, that can protect our children and put our people in a position to win. So tonight's topic is tonight's title is The Vanishing Black Family and the Destruction of the Black Community. The Vanishing Black Family and the Destruction of the Black Community. So in the Black Gold Nation's body of knowledge, we state that our mission is, quote, to own and or control municipalities via the establishment of strong communities and institutional power that serve to empower, free, and advance the spirit, mind, and body of Black people. Understanding that power resides in institutions and not individuals, and that power is never given, but always taken, and that power only respects power, we prepare ourselves for spiritual, mental, and physical confrontation and conflict to obtain, maintain, expand upon, and keep community, institutional, political, and spiritual power, end quote. So what we do because it's necessary. It's a necessary element and aspect of nation building. When we don't, or when we are unwilling to critically analyze our reality, we place ourselves in a losing or weakened position. So tonight's show title is about that, critically analyzing our reality so that we can strengthen our position by understanding that reality and putting things in motion that will change it. Again, tonight's show title is The Vanishing Black Family and the Destruction of the Black Community. As always, Brother Craig sends me videos, at least 2 or 3 videos a day, or 2 or 3 articles to highlight our reality, to highlight things that he's often trying to get us to understand. And of course, we are going to view that video tonight, which deals with some sisters who, I think they're all mothers, all young mothers, and their perspective of family, the assistance of brothers in raising a family, and their perspective, to say the least, is rather interesting. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to watch this video clip. It's not that long, and then we'll come back as always and discuss it. So I'm sharing my screen right now. I need 2 people to verify that they can see the screen. Two people, okay, Brother Naru. Who else? And one more person can verify they can see the screen?
I see it.
Cool, all right, thank you very much. Here we go. Oh, sorry. I gotta get my volume.
None of you are married. Raise your hand if you would.
Let me restart that. I didn't have my volume on. I apologize.
Raise your hand if you're married. None of you are married. Raise your hand if you would like to be married to your baby's father. One. The rest of you who don't plan to get married, why don't you plan to get married? I'd like to know that.
You already have your child to think about, and then a whole family to care for. You know, it's a lot of responsibility, and then you don't want the commitments.
I wouldn't want no man holding me down because I think I can make it as a single parent.
But don't you think you might need help in raising that baby from a man?
Not really. I didn't have a father. My father wasn't in the home, so you know it really. Male figures are not substantially important in the family.
All right. So as I said, it wasn't a long clip, but a lot was said. So we're going to jump right into it. Again, the title is The Vanishing Black Family and the Destruction of the Black Community. So Brother Craig, two quick questions that we don't really talk about a lot on the show, but you've done workshops on. How do you define male and man, and what's the difference?
Oh, that's a great question, because this week has been, for the past month, I've had to address this subject, and it is so sad because these terms, unfortunately, are not understood, are not taught. And when you allow people to believe that they are something that they're not, and as we go back to the quote that is attributed to Harriet Tubman, but some say that she didn't say it, I don't know. But I love the quote where she says, the quote says, "I could have freed more of them if they only knew they were slaves." The worst thing in this world is to allow a slave to believe that he is free. Then you allow the slave to believe that he has ascended into manhood, or he is man, or she has ascended into womanhood and she is woman. And so when I started doing my motivating our voices exponentially, these move workshops back in 1995, words is a critical part of the workshop. And so I started to look at, why is this thing so confusing? Why is there so much chaos? And it dawned on me. You have people who are mentally enslaved, who believe that they're free. They believe that they're adults. They believe that they're men, and they believe they're women. And when you have someone who believes that they're free, and they believe they're an adult, and they believe that they're a man or woman, guess what comes up after that? You can't tell me a goddamn thing.
Right.
So now we have this confusion. So when I do workshops in period, but definitely when I go into prison, jail, and do workshop, the move workshop, I start off by asking the question, how many of you are men? And everybody raises their hand. And I was like, okay, well, you're not born a man and you're not born a woman. You're born male, female, and in some instances, a corruption of the two, i.e. hermaphrodite, but that's very small percentages, and we're not gonna even get into the whole goddamn transgenderism. That's a whole nother goddamn thing. But male or female is primarily what we're looking at. So since you're not born man, how does a male become man? Or what is man? And I asked the question, everybody says that they're man. Well, okay, well, what is man? Nobody can answer the goddamn question. And so I have laid this thing out to say, man is a title that a male has the capacity to ascend to. Woman is a title that a female has a capacity to ascend to. When I created this, I had no thought about transgenderism and all of that, but eventually Oprah Winfrey did a show about the first man to have a child. And I was like, that's interesting because that's impossible. So Oprah, of course, was a part of the narrative to promote transgenderism way back when. So male is a, it's hard for me to even say human creation here. I know the creator is probably frowning upon me even saying goddamn human at this stage in the ballgame. But male is a human creation of the creator that's primarily XY chromosome. Female is a human creation of the creator that's XX chromosome. So how does male become man? How does one achieve the title of man? Well, first you start with a cultural rites of passage program. And we already know that's already non-existent in 99.5% of the homes that we're dealing with. So you start with a cultural rites of passage program because the first entity who is supposed to teach you manhood is your father. So we already know that's missing. Second, male, you must submit your mind and your spirit unto the creator. Third, you must become accountable and responsible to the creator and the ancestors, because these are the two entities that created you. The creator, of course, and through your bloodline, you get your genetic makeup. And then you become accountable and responsible to your immediate family. You become accountable and responsible to your extended family. You become accountable and responsible to your community. And then ultimately you become accountable and responsible to yourself. And some may say, well, why would you be last versus right behind the creator or before the creator? And the answer is pretty simple. Going through that process, you learn to relinquish the concept of selfishness and you learn to become selfless. And so that's how you matriculate from male into man, becoming man, moving from malehood into manhood. And the same exists for the female going into womanhood, with one exception. And that exception is, in order for female to matriculate into womanhood, the only difference between male matriculating into manhood is that she submits her will, her mind to man. And this is why it's imperative for the female to know the difference between male and man, because the female is never supposed to submit her mind to a male, because the male has not ascended into his position of manhood. This, Tamani, is why the world is in chaos now. And we will continue to be in chaos until we get these basic terms clarified, because this is why these females answered the way that they answered in this video, because they don't even have a clue as what the hell they were even talking about.
Yeah. So I missed one. You said the first one, the rites of passage program. The second one, submit to the creator. I missed the third one. What was the third one?
So the second one is submit your mind and spirit until the creator.
Mm-hmm.
Third, you become accountable and responsible to the creator and the ancestors.
Okay.
And then fourth, you become accountable and responsible to your immediate family. Fifth, accountable and responsible to your extended family. Sixth, accountable and responsible to your community. and 7, accountable and responsible unto yourself. That now takes you from being selfish, and you learn to become selfless.
Right.
And the same exists for the female ascended in the womanhood, but she has an 8 component. And I thought about this for years, where what are you supposed to submit to me? Submit.
just because.
God damn it, submit. God damn it. Well, what is she supposed to submit? And it dawned on me. The male is trying to force the female or woman to submit to him, but he has not ascended into manhood. Mm-hmm. So what is she supposed to submit? She's supposed to submit her mind. Now, if the female understands the concept, the reason she has to submit her mind, because the male, having now submitted his mind and spirit unto the Creator and has matriculated into manhood, he now can help guide her in the element of learning how the male and man operate. Because regardless of how the female wants to look at it, she cannot fend for herself in this world without male or man, or especially man. And that's the unfortunate thing, again, going back to this video, because the females believe that they don't need a so-called man, though they don't know the difference between male and man, but they say that simply because all of them are on welfare, right? Yeah. So the system created by who? The white man, gives them the illusion that they are free, that they're an adult, and that they're women. Hence, they make the stupid ass statements that they make.
All right, so Rites of Passage program, submit your mind and spirit to the Creator, become accountable and responsible to the Creator and the ancestors, become accountable and responsible to your immediate and extended family, become accountable and responsible, become accountable to your community. That's the
to
last
your
one.
Immediate family, extended family, then your community, and then unto yourself.
Okay, then unto yourself. Okay, so where, if anywhere, have you seen the righteous right development of man per your description of man?
I really haven't seen it.
Right. So that goes back to right culture.
Exactly.
In order for this to happen, you have to have right culture.
Exactly.
Because otherwise, you're missing some stuff.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and otherwise you will do what some tribes do in Africa, where the
that's right
so-called man is at the head, and he tells the female woman, you have to cut off your clitoris, and you have to do this because the Most High says so.
Right.
Which we know is a goddamn lie. But if you don't know that a male is telling you that because he's trying to control your sexuality, now it sounds good and you go along with the game plan. And so ultimately, as Naru was just asking to elaborate more on submitting your mind and spirit, your will unto the Creator, Naru, it's one of these things where a person would have to just know that there's a power greater than yourself, that's greater than this whole universe. Now, one may say, I don't believe in that. One may say, I do. But at the end of the day, if you believe that there's a power greater than yourself, greater than your bloodline, now you get to a point of saying, how do you interact with that entity? And the whole point now is to say, I'm willing to learn all, hence you submit yourself unto becoming a lifelong student, and that entity who creates the universe, nature, now begins to direct your path. And if you go through those steps of now becoming selfless. Now you grow in harmony with the Creator, but your will, you move beyond believing that you're the master of your own universe, and you are working in harmony with this greater entity so that you can now fulfill whatever you have been predestined to fulfill if you tap into your spirituality and your third eye.
So Sister Jatik, I'm not sure if you remember her or not, Brother Craig, out of the Baltimore DMV. Yeah. Jatik asked a question via Facebook. She says, so a woman is not fully a woman until she submits to man?
Oh, absolutely. A female can't become woman until because this whole process requires both. The male can't become man until he goes through this process, because, and follow me, Jatik, so you can understand this. A male being born has both X and Y chromosomes. I want you to follow me now. The male has both X and Y chromosomes. The female only has XX chromosomes. So the male has something that the female doesn't have. The only way that the female would be able to tap in to what the male matriculated into manhood has is if she connects to a male who is matriculated into manhood. Hence, she has to submit her mind to being willing to be plugged in to that power source. Don't look at submission as something negative. You have to look at submission just like you submit to being taught by a football coach, a basketball coach, a band teacher. It's the same process. So as I looked at this and I heard so many guys say, oh, the female woman is supposed to submit to me. Okay, well, what is she supposed to submit and why?
And are you worthy? Are you even ready?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And most of these cats will never ascend into manhood, so the female is not. And damn sure a woman is not supposed to submit to a male, because just like a male can guide you in the right way, he can also guide you in the wrong way. And most males are going to guide you in the wrong way because they're not rooted in the 6 pillars of empowerment: spirituality, organic right culture, education, economics, socioeconomics, and politics. And if you think about this and you go back to seeing the video of what Tamani showed, you'll understand why these females said what they said, because in the video they said, hey, my daddy wasn't around. What we need a dude for? Mm-hmm. Now they broke as hell now. With
children.
With children. Broke as hell. But they don't perceive themselves as being broke because the white man got them.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's jump into the question. And I suspect all the answers are gonna be pretty much the same, but the first question is so what does it mean that only one sister raised her hand about wanting to be married to her baby's father?
Hey, bro, and of course she don't know what the hell being married is.
Together.
You know, she doesn't want to be with him because she probably happy to have sex with him. She don't know what that means, but it tells you the state. Now, and mind you, when was this video shot?
1986.
How long ago was that, Brother Tamani?
1986, almost 30 years ago.
Now, I graduated from high school in 1985. I was 17. You can kind of like see these sisters are 14, 15, 16, 17. So they in their goddamn late 40s, early 50s. Mm-hmm. They're grandparents now. Okay?
Probably.
And so what that told me is, boom, generation set, stone, messed up. So only one even had a desire to be married. And it could be that the dude is a decent guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I would love to do the follow-up, but it is very impactful to see that those females didn't have a care, and they likened the connection to the guy being married as more responsibility.
We're gonna get there. That's one of the questions for sure. So I'm glad you brought it up. Okay, so next question is, actually, that is the next question. What's significant about the sister who thinks that being married means you have to take care of the man and the children? So that is the next question.
Because they've never met. Look, I remember the second sister, whoever went through my empowerment boot camp, Kameko Thomas, in 2009. And when I first met Kameko, she's from Shreveport, but she was migrated back to Shreveport from Seattle, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And I never forget one of our, after we had met and whatnot, and as we were getting ready to start empowerment boot camp, she made a profound statement about it. She said, "I hate black men."
All of them.
I hate them. And so I said, and at first, I was real nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ruth said he couldn't record me because I'd be cursing. But I'm nice. I'm very nice. So I said, "No, you don't, sister. No, you don't." "Yes, I do." I said, "No, you don't, sister. No, you don't." "Yes, I do." I said, "Sister, no, you don't. How you gonna tell me what I feel? You ain't in my mind." I said, "Cause goddamn it, you ain't never met a goddamn black man." So once I went through and broke down male versus man and laid down what I just laid down, he said, "Damn."
I guess you're right. You have a good point, brother.
He said, "I don't hate black men. I hate Negro males."
There you go. And you know, like you said, that terminology matters.
The terminology matters.
Yes, sir.
And so because that sister has never met a black man,
mm-hmm.
and she's been encountering, you remember that movie that Tyrese Gibson played in? What was the name of it?
Baby Boy.
Baby what?
Boy.
Oh. And what was Tyrese? What? Tyrese believed that he was what?
A man.
Whoa! But he was
a boy. A male.
Damn it, you're a goddamn boy.
Right. And what's funny is that throughout the movie, Ving Rhames is trying to let him know why he's a boy. He's constantly trying to give him,
exactly.
You a boy because you ain't got no, you take care of nothing.
And why was he a boy? The focus can be put on the mother, like a lot of Negroes try to put the full throttle on the mother,
mm-hmm.
but who wasn't there for him?
His father.
You goddamn right.
Right. And as you just said, the cycle continues.
The cycle continues. So what did the mother do? She coddled his punk ass.
Yep.
She made him her boyfriend. She made him a boy. So as now he started to grow older, he believed because he had genitalia similar to a man, he had muscles, physical stature similar to a man. He had all of these things physiologically, anatomically, but spiritually, culturally, educationally, economically, socially, politically, he was a boy. And that created the conflict when now perceived man steps into the household.
Right.
And so that's where the dilemma is at with the female, because she looks at the man as being what? A boy.
Right.
Child. Therefore, I don't want to even deal with the possibility, because I'm already taxed with the responsibility, even though I don't know what the hell I'm doing,
right.
of raising this child. I don't want to have two children who I have to raise.
Yeah, I don't know if you've picked the next movie yet, but it could be Baby Boy because we got one coming up. Yeah.
I'm gonna pick one that Sister Shannon.
Oh, okay, cool. So she did send you her list.
Yeah.
Excellent. Cool. Okay, next question.
Yeah, I saw the list.
Okay, cool. What's significant about the sister who thinks a man will hold her down?
Say it again.
What's significant about the sister who thinks a man will simply hold her down?
Again, she has no comprehension of what man is.
Mm-hmm.
So she is correctly identifying a large percentage of males who have not matriculated into manhood. And so those males who she's referencing have tapped into trying to use the female as a prostitute, as a get over tool. You know, you carry your ass to work and bring me back your check. That's what she's referencing, right? But because she's never been around a man similar to Kameko, and once Kameko got it, Kameko said, damn,
I need me one of those.
a weight has been lifted off of my goddamn back.
Well, amen. All right. So if you missed the beginning of the show, you're listening to the Revolutionary Code, where we bring the truth about how governmental politics actually works in every facet of human existence and how that affects our people, Black people here in America, Africa, and the diaspora. Tonight's show is our 79th episode, and it's titled The Vanishing Black Family and the Destruction of the Black Community. My name is Tamani Mwandani. I'm the founder of the Black Gold Nation, and my co-host is Brother Craig B. Lee, who is the chief consultant of our political strategy department and our adult over our adult education division, as well as the chairman of LACE, Liberation Advocates for Community Empowerment. So next question, Brother Craig, what's...
And Brother Tamani, let me make this point.
Come on.
You can go back and look at Malcolm X speeches. You can go back and look at Martin Luther King speeches. You can go back and look at Garvey speeches. You can go back and look at Farrakhan speeches. None of them distinguish male from man, female from woman. And this is a critical part of the process of where we're at in terms of our confusion and chaos. Because without spirituality and culture, I would have never been able to stumble onto this as it relates to the empowerment process. But it was necessary. The Creator brought me into this awareness, but these terms have to be clarified.
Amen. Okay. So and again, I venture to say that most of these questions are going to come back to the same answer. But what's significant about the sisters who think that they don't need any help from a man, primarily because they've never seen a man help?
Well, first off, let's address the question that you just asked with the word think. None of them are thinking.
Right. Yeah, they believe.
They believe.
Yeah.
And to believe something before you think is totally dangerous. But they believe it. And so it again tells me that they have no awareness of man. But I get it, because they pretty much don't. Who was supposed to be the first man that they encountered
in their lives?
Yeah.
I'm assuming it should have been their father.
Exactly. So what did all of them say in the interview?
They don't need a man?
No, before they said that.
Oh, there was no father in their life. I was raised by a single mother, and that turned out just fine.
Exactly.
Despite my reality of being on welfare and having a child at a very early age, which is a hell of a start.
So welfare gives them the illusion that they're self-sufficient.
Right. And that they don't need help, which is amazing. Yeah, which is amazing.
So the white man figured out how to be a provider based on tax revenues coming from all of us. The white man figured that trick out. That's a hell of a David Copperfield trick. Goddamn. For him to be given credit as being the provider to these sisters, and then they believe it's actually them who's doing it because they are tasked with the responsibility of feeding and clothing, but the resources come from the taxpayers. However, they give the credit to the white man. And so it all goes back to the fact that none of them were cultivated into understanding manhood because the father was absent. And unfortunately, even if the father is in the home, unfortunately, he has no understanding of true manhood, unfortunately, because he lacks, in most instances, the 6 pillars of empowerment, which is why the illusion of the 2-parent household, that's the funniest thing, because you got to be in a 2-parent household. Okay, you got 2 retarded.
Okay.
You got 2 retarded ass people trying to raise a child or multiple children. What the hell is that supposed to do? Explain that to me. Without those 6 pillars of empowerment being rooted in both the male and the female, matriculated into manhood and womanhood, and ultimately into godhood and goddesshood, what do you actually have? You see, this is where we're at with the situation that we're in.
So if we know that the 6 pillars of empowerment hasn't been fully instituted, if we know that no community or society has this approach to develop man and woman, what do you say to the men and women that we have developed as a people, assuming that you believe we have?
Yeah, it's a small percentage of us who exist.
And how did that happen?
See, the creator and the ancestors. I mean, the creator, there will always be a small percentage of us who are able to break the matrix shackles, slavery shackles. It'll always happen. See, this is not about absolute oppression. It's about percentage oppression.
Yeah.
But if the white folks are able to get 98% of us,
it's more than enough. Yeah. Okay. All right. Next question. So what's the overall cause and or reason for this way of thinking this way of believing amongst these systems?
There you go. Way of believing.
I got it.
Believing, because they ain't thinking. Way of believing. I mean, again, it goes back to the philosophy of the system and the game of capitalistic white supremacy racism. This thing here, I remember some discussions I have on Facebook, and Degrows will say, you get a white man too much credit. I'm like, bro, y'all know. I said, look, let me tell you, bro, you white folks, I gotta take my head out. Because whether it's an intended outcome or an unintended outcome, brother, the system that they done put in place, bruh, is effective, is efficient. And what the white folks do on an annual basis, they assess what they've done.
They recalibrate.
If they have to recalibrate, they recalibrate.
Yeah.
But they got a core mechanism operating just fine. And so again, to allow people, look, if you go to the 82nd, I want y'all to check this out. Y'all go to the 82nd number of Psalms in the King James version of the so-called Bible. And y'all read, it's only 8 verses, but y'all go in there and check that out. But in the 5th verse, the so-called God is challenging the other gods, the rulers and the leaders of the physical world to, protect the fatherless and the needy and rid them out of the hand of the wicked. It gives them some specific instructions on what they're supposed to be doing in the 3rd and the 4th verse. And oh yeah, there you go, boy. Woo! God damn. Boy, look at here, boy. That goddamn spot. So you go to that third and that fourth, you know, it tells you to defend the poor and the fatherless, you know, do justice to the afflicted and needed. You know, give you some, but this is for the God. So I love to ask good Christians, well, goddamn, if you only have one God, why is your God talking to other gods? Of course, they don't know the answer to that. So I answer for them. These are the leaders of the physical world. And so, but the leaders of the physical world are rolling with the goddamn wicked. They rolling with the evil people. So it gives you instructions, third and fourth. But look at the fifth verse. And this is why I wanted to point to the 82nd number song. It gives them instructions because in the fifth verse, it tells you that the people are stupid as hell. It tells you they dumb, they stupid. Look what it says. They know not, neither will they understand. God damn. You don't know, you don't understand. They walk on in darkness. All. Tamani, does that say some or does it say all?
Let me take a closer look. That says all, brother.
All the foundations of the earth are out of course. That means your damn family life is out of course. Your damn finances are out of course. Your health and wellness out of course. Okay? So I love to ask Christians, are you a God? No, I ain't no God. Well, what does the 6th verse say? I have said, ye are God, and all of you are children of the Most High. But guess what? Ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge. Wait a minute. I thought you ain't supposed to judge. Only God can judge me. Oh, only God can judge me. Can't nobody judge me. Judge the earth, O punk ass Negro, for thou shalt inherit all nations. That's in your damn book. That's why you can't throw the book away.
Mm-hmm.
For all the so-called woke people who say the hell with the Bible. No, the Bible, yes, it has poison. The Bible, yes, it is cancerous. Yes, it is infected. Yes, it has a virus to it. But where do you find the cure to a virus, to an infection, to poison, and to cancer? Yeah. Is it outside or inside?
It's inside.
You goddamn right. So you got to go inside.
Yeah, and it's interesting, Brother Craig.
The doors of the church are open. Give me all you goddamn.
So it's interesting that the system via the creation of the welfare state has made it very, very, very difficult, if not impossible, for males to be involved. In the lives of the children in the family. I remember growing up at one of my grandmother's house. When the welfare people will come by, all the brothers will have to get ghosts.
You got to go.
You can't be in here because if you're in here, it affects our money. So, you know, yeah, that's heavy, brother. That's heavy. Yeah. So like you just said, you got to give the white boy credit. So next question. This video was done in 1986, and this question is kind of tongue in cheek, but I'll just say this. Why do you think the problem has gotten worse?
Well, remember now, we only have 2 problems.
Okay. So why do you think this symptom has further manifested itself?
The symptom has grown even more worse. Follow me now. When did the civil rights, the second civil rights legislation pass?
I don't know.
1964.
68. All right.
Which was the erection of the pseudo illusion of integration. When did it pretty much jump off?
66.
No, roughly 74.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Remember, because it took them a while to put it together now.
Hmm.
You remember the video that you sent to me from Reverend Clay?
Yes, 1972. Is it too late?
72.
Yeah.
I'm putting this in perspective for you.
Come on.
That was 72. So it took them about 10 years to get the system in place. That was 74.
Yeah.
When was this video made?
The one that we just watched?
Yeah.
86.
So it took them 10 years to get the system in place that we're in, pseudo integration. So what's the difference? What's the timeline between 74 and 86?
8 years?
All right. No.
No,
12.
12 years. 12 years.
12. So it took a little bit over a decade to put this in place. And oh my goodness. In them goddamn 12 years, you can go to Walmart now. You can go to goddamn McDonald's now. You can go to Papa Do's now. You can get on Royal Caribbean and goddamn Carnival Cruise Line now. Oh my goodness. We have arrived.
We is free.
But you feel what? What do you feel?
What do you what?
You still a slave.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Because you can only go where they allow you to go, and you can only do what they allow you to do.
And you still what? A baby what?
Boy.
And a baby what?
Girl.
Exactly. Pretending to be what?
Man and woman.
Woo!
And don't have a clue as to what man or woman is.
So now what can you tell a goddamn man or woman? What can you tell a slave? What can you tell a slave who believes he or she is man and woman?
That they're not?
What can you tell a slave who believes that he or she is man and woman?
That you a boy or girl?
Not a goddamn thing.
Because they think they know everything. You're right. Nothing. which is really a hell of a cycle.
I'm wrong. You can't tell me a goddamn thing. This is where we at.
Yeah.
I got to give it to these white folks.
Yeah. And that's a perfect segue to the next question, which is, how does all of this relate to the destruction of the Black community?
That's where it's at. That's right, bruh. When I was a child, do you know the toys that I played?
Nope.
Jigsaw puzzle, and I built goddamn model cars, planes, and boats.
All right.
So when I laid out for you the essence of Harriet Tubman saying, I could have freed more of them if they only knew they were slaves.
Which is during slavery, you don't know you're a slave?
Bruh, do you not understand?
And now, and like you just said, now we can go to Walmart and Papa Do's. During slavery, they didn't know they were slaves. And we can go to Walmart and Chick-fil-A and Papa Do's.
And so now you ask the question, why is it so much more profound now?
Because we can go to Walmart.
Well, I can go to Walmart.
I can buy me a car.
I can sit in the front of the bus. I can buy me a car. Nigga, what you complaining about? Nigga, what you talking about? What you talking about, this black revolution? Nigga, please. Nigga, get out of my face.
I is free.
I is free.
So
not clever it is.
All right. So this is I don't know, it's not necessarily rhetorical, but how does all of this connect to the philosophy, system, and game of capitalistic white supremacy racism?
This video is one of the greatest case analysis I gotta go find the whole. Me and Dr. Jones were talking about this the other night. I gotta find that whole case study, man. Bruh, just listen to the questions this white dude. What was the first question? One of the first questions he asked them, how many of y'all are married?
Want to be married?
No,
No?
he asked them, how many of you married?
No, he said, how many of you guys want to be married to your baby's father?
He asked them that, but he also asked them if any of them were married.
Oh, okay.
He already knew ain't none of them were married. He followed up by asking them how many wanted to be married.
Okay.
Why would that white man ask them if they were married when he knows that they were not married? Right? So they are analyzing these entities like lab rats. Yeah. You see? And our people really don't get this at all. And Martin Luther King, I sent you another video where Martin said, you know, hey, damn, it's easier to integrate a lunch counter and integrate all this other stuff. But man, when you start talking about this money, man, when you start talking about redistribution, but yet you were making all these goddamn eloquent speeches.
Right.
Yet you were talking about looking at your children being analyzed for the content of their character and all this foolishness. You see? So when you get out of here, Tamani, in this game of capitalistic white supremacy, and you don't understand how this thing really works, they're going to use your words against you. And this is where this thing is at. And unfortunately, you know, having gone through chattel slavery, I used to think that the second worst period for our people was Jim Crow segregation, but it's not. The second worst period for our people, other than chattel slavery, is the period that we're in now, which is pseudo-integration. Because pseudo-integration gives you the illusion that you're free when you're not, gives you the illusion that you're a man and woman when you're not, and gives you the illusion that you don't have to fight when you have to. And that's the interesting thing about that.
Yeah, and I'm showing this picture. It's a video clip, but to remind everybody, for those that were around when we did it, we actually did a show. Brother Craig just said that he asked the question because they studied the people, the responses, Black people. We did a show on this study. It's called, I think, Experiment 25. I think is what it's called. And it is a Universe 25. It is a study of what happens to society when you overcrowd people on top of people on top of people. You limit resources, you take away food, you take away opportunity. It changes the nature of the thing from its natural state to being something else. And that something else can be seen in human behavior. So I don't remember the episode. I'll find it for next week, but it's very, very, very important. Like, we have group meetings on Thursday night, Brother Craig, before the Revolutionary Code, and we were talking about tonight. We were talking about the existence of the nigger factory, and Matrix, because all this stuff happens by design.
By design.
And so many of our people, brother, you know, we think the system is broken, and it's not broke. It was designed to operate this way. And something you said, I'm not sure it was the week before last week, you said there have been some serious white people who've tried to push back against the power elite in the system, but the system wiped them out. And we saw that time and time again with the 5 series we watched of Plutocracy.
Come on, bro.
So all this stuff is connected, and here we are thinking we're free to do whatever we want to do, how we want to do it. We're believing that we're free to do whatever we want and however we want, but we're only as free as they allow us to be.
Exactly.
And if our quote unquote freedoms infringe upon their power and or their money, then as Martin Luther King and Gaddafi quickly realized, it's time to get ghosts.
Hey, you gone. You gone now.
Right. You know, and you know, sovereignty or not. All right.
Which I'm so glad you pointed that out. for all these goddamn sovereignty seekers.
And that's why I said it. There ain't no freedom papers.
That just show you how retarded these
You know,
folks.
it is amazing, man, that people believe that because you have some papers, they can't do whatever.
It's bad, bro.
They eliminate heads of state, real countries with real borders, with real militaries.
Hey, bro, I don't even argue with them no goddamn more. It's like all these people want to escape from reality. And you know, that goes back to the damn TV show. You know, you're old enough to remember.
Fancy Island.
Mr. Rourke and
Fancy
Fantasy
Island. That's right. The plane.
That plane tattoo, goddammit, every damn Saturday. That plane. And what was Mr. Rourke offering you every damn weekend?
An escape, a fantasy.
A fantasy.
Yeah, and a few episodes ago, we talked about how all of American society is a distraction via the entertainment.
That's why I love the definition of power from Dr. Wade Noble.
Come on.
When he says power is the ability to define reality and have others respond to your definition as if it were their own. So those of us who are on this phone call, this Zoom, those of us who are the hybrid, man, stop arguing with you retarded ass goddamn people. You know, some people over the years have said, God damn, Craig, why you call our people retarded? Well, first and foremost, they ain't our goddamn people. They just African descendants who are melanated. And if you don't know the different factions, you're gonna get your head bashed in by some of these goddamn savages. And I say, you have better understand the difference between the factions. And goddamn, if you think I'm making this up, go look at the movie Divergent. Go look at Insurgent.
There you go.
Go look at goddamn Matrix. Hell, the white folks tell you in the goddamn movie. I've been preaching this for over 3 decades. So now I'm like in the NBA and the NFL, like when you master your craft, they say the game slows down.
That's right.
Man, I'm walking in this thing now. I'm like, get mad at these folks. Don't goddamn. All I need is 4 things from your punk ass.
Come on.
A percentage of your disposable income, a percentage of your votes, a percentage of your intellectual capital, meaning your labor and or idea, because your punk ass don't know what to do with it. And then I just need you to positively promote our programs, projects, and business. Other than that, Negro, you can be a goddamn Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu. Goddamn it, you can do whatever. That'll be the only reason that we don't put your ass.
You don't get ghosted. All right, a second to the last question. So bringing all of this home, what is the answer to reverse this way of believing amongst so many of our people?
The goddamn 6 pillars of empowerment. Embracing the 6 pillars of empowerment and doing what the goody mob say. Get up, get out, and get something. Don't let the world pass you by. You got to get up, get out, and get something. How could you make it if your punk never even tried?
That's right. All right, brother. 10:01 on the dot. We're doing pretty good. So one takeaway from tonight's show that everybody would have with them for the rest of their lives. What would that one takeaway be? You only get one.
I'm on goddamn fire tonight. Okay. All point of the matter is you better elevate your goddamn mind. You better embrace these 6 pillars of empowerment. Go back. The beautiful thing about, although the internet and social media is just gobbling up the minds of the masses of our people, we live in a multidimensional reality. So although there's a whole bunch of negativity with social media, there's a lot of positivity with social media. So go and do your research, pull up this information, go now, study, and tap in So you can actually see the white folks putting it out there for you. Hell, I ain't never know about this goddamn study they did on these Negro females. So just think about it. They've been doing this for a long ass time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Monitoring our behavior, right? Psychology, sociology, consumer behavior. These are subjects that we learn about in college. And so I challenge you guys to, embrace, work with the Black Gold movement, work, get in the fight, man. Because shit, I mean, very shortly, if your punk ass ain't wanting to fight, you better go look at V for Vendetta so you can understand how this thing is about to play out.
And they not only monitor the behavior, but they set up the system to ensure you do or don't do certain things, and they monitor that on purpose. It's like lab rats. All right.
And please stop believing that just because they do it, you should be able to do it. Understand that the white man is not your standard. Your ancestors are your standard. Well, they did it. Why did the white? It's their goddamn system.
Because they can.
Because they can.
All right. So on that note, that concludes tonight's show. We're going to open this thing up for Q&A. So does anyone have a question, comment? Brother Naru has turned his camera on as usual. Brother Naru.
Hey, what's going on? I'm a little tired tonight, bro.
I told you, man, you look tired.
Yeah, I've been in the studio mixing, but yeah, this was great stimulating conversation. I got a few questions, so bear with me. First one, Brother Craig, how old do you believe you were when you felt you became a man and made a transition from being a male?
I would say, Naru, it was at Xavier.
Okay.
It was between 85 and 89. I got on the path in 85 during my first theology class. So I would say between that time frame, especially when I got kicked off of goddamn campus and and I had to figure out how I was gonna survive up in this mud. But I would say that time frame there, that time frame.
So how old were you?
I would put that time frame, Naru, 2021.
Okay, you was fairly young.
2020.
All right. That's a good one. All right, so
because that really gave me a chance to get on the path, start learning, and starting to work in New Orleans, and then ultimately become an intern in Atlanta, Georgia. And so it was between 20 and 21, my junior senior year, and right out.
All right, the next one. What do you believe we were created to do here on this planet? You talk about the creator, and the creator doesn't do anything without a purpose. So what do you think our main purpose is on this planet?
Well, some of our purpose is to be evil.
Okay.
Some entities' purposes is to be on the righteous path. Everybody, there's a again, we're in a multidimensional reality. So just like you have some snakes that are poisonous, some snakes that are not poisonous. Some of us were designed to be evil. Some of us were designed to be on the righteous path. And those of us who are on the righteous path, our purpose is to liberate, empower, and advance our people. Now, that's your macro purpose. There's a micro purpose that you have that specifically deals with the talents and skills that you have. I can't tell you that.
No,
only you and the creator you and the creator can figure that out. But it's going to directly connect to the macro purpose, but specifically to the talents and skills that you have. for the
Okay.
betterment, for the empowerment, for the liberation, empowerment, and advancement of your people.
So from your answer, it sounds as if you're saying we're in a testing ground or some type of an experimental state, since we're creating a creator's creating good and evil for, it sounds like that's kind of what you're saying. So I understand that. And
You're right on point, brother.
but
Because now, Rue, you know, one of the most interesting things that I've learned over these 54 years of being on this planet, you know, people say, well, this was destined to happen, right? But here's what I figured out. All of us, I mean, it's going to be very rare that any of us start out on a conscious path. It's going to be very, very rare, because you got to have two empowered parents to make that happen. Okay, to at least begin the process. That's going to be very rare. So the vast majority of us are going to start out on an unconscious path. So if you travel the unconscious path the entire duration of your existence on the planet, there's a set of outcomes that's going to happen to you. But if you get to that fork in the road, or when you get to that fork in the road, because everybody's going to get to the fork in the road. You might not know it, but everybody's going to get to the fork in the road. If you take the right path towards empowerment, now, Rue, there's a whole nother outcome for you. So people say, oh, well, that was going to happen to him anyway. No. It depends on the path that you got on.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that. All right, final question. So I believe that everyone has like a voice inside of their head telling them, right from wrong. And if you don't listen to it enough, it'll start to weaken. And then you start to kind of like battle against yourself, and then you justify wrongdoing. So I feel like that's the God in us. We come with that, and over time, the society and stuff breaks that down. So I just wanted to know if you felt similar to that, because you talk about the Creator, and I feel like the Creator is in all of us, and we are all part of God's.
Hey, bro, you just knocked out the park. Ain't nothing else for me. Like the goddamn young folks say lit.
I hate when my daughter says that. So like she's saying, shut up.
Goddamn. You knocked it out the park. I totally concur. Yeah, what you just said is absolutely on point, bro.
Cool. All right, I gotta ask Brother Tamani. Tamani, when did you feel, same question I asked Brother Craig, when did you feel like you became a man, at what age? And if you've arrived, but you smiling like you might not be there yet.
I ain't never gonna make
it. and is your wife down with that submission thing Brother Craig was talking about?
I would have to say, yeah. Fortunately, we've always clicked. Is always if I can count on two fingers in the time we've been connected, that we've had a real argument.
It's beautiful.
And most of that as a result of me realizing she's probably right. So I don't let that crap go a long time ago. So I would have to say, brother, I've never really thought about it, but if I had to put a time on it, it would probably be when I felt secure in my ability to take care of my family. Like I didn't need help from anybody. I could feed my kids, put clothes on their backs, take them to Chuck E. Cheese every now and then, when I felt like I was really taking care of the house, and paying all the bills, got money in the bank, blah blah blah. So that's probably when I felt it. And so that would have been when my youngest was, she had to be maybe, actually everybody was born. So I'll say right around 19. I said maybe 2002, I guess, is when everybody was born and I was taking care of it.
Right.
How old were you? How old were you?
I had to be, 27, Tama, maybe 31, 32.
Okay.
Thank you guys. Great answers.
That's actually a great question, brother.
Yeah, excellent question. Excellent question. And I, Naru listens, and Naru don't ask bad questions. I mean, thought provoking. He pays attention. Sometimes he come with notes. So amen. And again, that's why we're here. Excellent. Okay, you good, brother Naru?
Yeah. Appreciate y'all, bro.
Solid, brother. Solid.
And I'll send you that song too.
Please do. And if it's good, I'll play it. But now we need a theme song anyway. So the fact that you are already working on it, man, we need so many things when it comes to media. So I'm glad that you're doing that, but that's awesome. All right. So does anyone else have a question or comment for Brother Craig?
Yeah, this is Brother Mike. Good evening, everyone. Excellent presentation as usual. Just in that same thing, I had a comment, but also had a question. You feel like you're a man when you can take care of yourself. I think probably a little bit after I graduated from Xavier, but the second evolution when my daughter was born, then it really hit me.
Wow.
I'm responsible for another life.
Wow.
That was the fullness of manhood right there.
There you go.
When you got it's like the burden of command. See, when I was coming up, my father always told me, you are responsible party. You take care of that woman whether she working or not. You take care of everything's on you. It's a thankless job, but you make sure everything happens. Now that the whole piece, if you talk biblically as far as the man in the role, I believe it's a teamwork type thing.
Yeah.
Because you can get to the traditionalists, but you want your spouse to be happy too. You don't want a situation where it's just all on her because of what tradition said. But secondly, my question is, my daughter's coming out in, she gets her white coat in December and coming out with her PhD in physical therapy. In May of 2023. Constant concern, it never stops when you're a parent, whether they get grown, they still
Never.
It never ends. And your wallet never closes.
That's right.
So, so my question is, my daughter knows where I stand, and I become, believe it or not, more conscious back in 2003. And she knows where I am in terms of just my Afrocentricity, who I am, who she is, so on and so forth. And I never get involved in who she dates. Now, luckily enough, she dated a couple of knuckleheads that were black, but that's at least they black.
Mm-hmm.
The more she goes out there, the more interaction she has with non-Afro-American folk. It's just, and if she happens to connect with a Caucasian that he wants to I don't know, fill some kind of gap because he felt like he was always black. I want to be able to respond to appropriately and not make it seem like, I don't know. It's just, that's a rough, because I never really had a conversation with her about it, but I mean, you need to start at home. Charity starts at home. And that's how I look at it. I don't care what they say. I love my black women. And a lot of times it just, every race, every ethnic group has issues and concerns, men, women, whatever. But I'm not gonna jump ship, and get somebody that don't look like me, or don't look like my mama. So that's my question, Craig. I mean, just
So
what's the question?
The question is,
I understand.
In the event that she's swaying that way, or she's dating, Caucasian male, and he might have it going on.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody's gonna have to make a structural adjustment. Either she has to or he has to.
Right.
And I want to be. What should my response be, or should I even come in at all?
Mike, when I left corporate America in June of 1995, I said to myself, I'm not gonna play this game like Malcolm, Martin, and Garvey. I wasn't going to be involved to have a child with a female unless she was on the same square that I was on. That was in 1995. And I was 28. I'm thinking, Obviously, I'm going to run into at least 4.
Well,
Right.
Bruh. So based on your question, I already know that your daughter's mother is not rolling with an Afrocentric foundation. I already know that. I don't even have to ask you that question.
Oh no, she's her well shit. Hey brother, you hit it right on there. Now she's black when it comes to being a Delta and all that.
I already know. I don't even need to know. I already know. Because if she was rolling with a cultural foundation and you are rolling with a cultural foundation and y'all were in harmony spiritually and culturally, this issue would not even be on the forefront. I take my hat off to you because, you know, I already know this is why I don't have children, not because I didn't want to have children, but I wasn't willing to risk this particular conversation that you're talking about right now. Because I already know my decision would be, I wouldn't be dealing with my child. I already know that. So,
right.
I'm just being honest with you. I'm just being honest with you.
It's a rough one. It's a rough one.
I have a sister, as close as I can come to this. I have a sister, and her husband is a brother, but he's fair skinned. As a matter of fact, Mike, he is the great nephew of Dr. Norman Francis. Dr. Francis's brother, who was when you were at Xavier. Well, you had graduated. We had graduated. But Dr. Norman Francis, if you remember, his brother was one of only 8 Negro bishops in the Catholic Church at that time.
Yeah. You know, in the seminary, you know? And he used to be with SVD. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's who performed the ceremony for my sister and brother-in-law, Vincent Navarre. See, Dr. Francis is from Lafayette, so Vincent is his goddamn great nephew. So Vincent comes from a solid family. But my punk ass sister, when she left the majority African-American high school that I graduated from and went to the majority white magnet, her junior year, I started seeing Glenn Campbell for Christmas, goddamn cake and shit at the house. I'm like, I know we got an issue, right? And so when I graduated from Xavier, I told her, she was at TWU, Texas Women's University at the time. And I told her, I said, Stacey, look, you're going to get out of these white organizations and look, you're going to start to focus on this. And this was like a brother-sister meeting, but she went back and told my mama, and my mama said, your sister ain't like you, and whoop the whoop. And needless to say, from that point on, I was hands off. She jumps the broom, 1996. My sister hasn't been here to see her mother in 19 years. Now, although she's married to a brother who is very fair skinned, way lighter than you. They are on a complete white path. Now, I already saw this was where this was going. She knew had she married a pale skin, there's no way in the world I would have given her away at a goddamn wedding. It just wasn't gonna happen. There's a point, and when I do my workshops, especially with females, I ask them a question: who do you live your life for? And I already know what they're gonna say. You know, my child, my children. And I tell them that's the wrong answer. And then they'll say, how you gonna tell us it's the wrong answer? That's what I feel. It's the goddamn wrong answer, because if you're not living your life for the Creator, you're a fool. Oh, well, you know, that's understood. No, it's not understood. Because if you live your life for the Creator, see, it doesn't matter whether it's your child, your husband, your wife, your mama, your daddy. Guess what? If they ain't rolling with a path of righteousness, hey, bro, I can't roll with you. It's really that simple. So I take my hat off to parents like yourself. My ex-wife is going through some things right now with her daughter, but it couldn't be me. Yeah, I'll just say it like that, because you're not going to date, if you're a male child of mine, you're not going to date somebody that is opposite your mother. If you're a female child, you goddamn sure ain't gonna date and marry somebody opposite of me. That just ain't gonna happen. That just ain't gonna happen. You know, and that's why, although he's kind of come around, I guess, a little bit, that's why Mr. Richard Williams didn't roll with that goddamn wedding with Serena and her pale skin. He's from Shreveport, right? I'm just being honest with you. But again, what that shows, Mike, is the spiritual and cultural bankruptcy of our people, brother. And that's why I said I thought segregation was the second worst period for our people, but no, it's actually the period that we're in now, pseudo-integration. Because without spirituality and culture, this is why our children are making the decisions that they're making. Because, and you can't, no matter what your Afrocentric view is, guess who was the parent that was domiciled with your child? It was her mother. And she ain't rolling with the Afrocentric thing. She'll play that goddamn Delta thing, that Greek letter thing, but that don't mean a goddamn thing.
True.
If you ain't rolling with the cultural component, you ain't rolling with a goddamn thing. Spirituality, culture, education, economics, socioeconomics, and politics. We're the only damn people in the world who will sacrifice our entire being to try to fit in with these pale skins. It's the craziest. I mean, it's look. I asked the Negro. And it wasn't even about the Negro cracker relationships from a sexual standpoint. It was going to church. And one of my good friend girls, she's a librarian here in Shreveport, and she said, you know, Craig, I had to stop going to my traditional church, and I had to go to the white church because I'm feeling so much more fed. You know, I wasn't getting all of this at the Negro church. So, Mike, this is how I dealt with this Negro. And she's a good friend girl of mine. I know you can't address the Negro directly. So you got to get them indirectly to commit to an answer to then come back to the actual question that you're going to ask that punk ass. Because the Negro loves to lie. So you got to get that punk ass to commit to another answer that's directly connected to it. So I said, sister, do you think pseudo-European Jews would allow Adolf Hitler and the Nazis to teach them anything about religion? And Mike immediately, she said, hell no! I got your punk ass down there. I got you. Because you done committed yourself to the same answer that you got to give. See, this is where logic comes in. So then I said, well, sister, if the pseudo-European Jew, it would be illogical for the pseudo-European Jew to allow the Nazi German Adolf Hitler to teach them anything about religion. Why are you going to the white church? Cricket. Cricket. See, it's easy for the Negro to advocate outside of their own, but they don't even think about this when it comes to their own. So I can only pray that your philosophy of Afrocentricity wins out over, you know, your ex's Eurocentric Negro talented 10th bullshit, and hopefully your daughter will come around to embracing some positive brothers who are out there.
Yeah, it's my hope too, man. Thanks, Brother Craig.
I hope that we are all here if and when Brother Craig is ever blessed with a child, and it's a girl, and he's crying because it's his baby, and she grows up to give him hell, and he's like, damn it, girl, you giving me hell, but he love his daughter. I hope we around for that, because they don't always do what you want them to do.
Don't get it twisted. I've helped to raise.
I'm sure, but it's different when it's yours, brother.
It's different when it's mine. I already been. I agree with.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm right there. I'm a hug you, but man, I know, I understand, but damn it, ain't she cute?
Somebody, you know what's so crazy about that? I was telling Dr. Jones, I was in a gym years ago, and I'm seeing these little children playing basketball in this game, and I'm seeing these mothers bringing their children in, and some of them had the dads with them, but it's primarily mothers. And I say, damn, did I play this too hardcore? You know, could I have civilized some of these savage Negro females and had a child with them? And I say, I don't even want you to think about it. Because I would have been in there choking one of their goddamn ass.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about the mother. I'm just talking about the child. I'm just talking about the child. Yeah, kids are awesome. All right, so does anyone else have a question or comment for Brother Craig before we close this thing out? Any other questions or comments for Brother Craig?
Question in it.
Who?
Shannon and a few more people.
Shannon, let me see. I know we had a few statements. Yeah, I don't see Shannon. Shannon, you had a question? Or posted a question? Yeah, Shannon did post a question. Yeah,
well,
Sister Peace asked for reference about the 6 pillars of empowerment, and I sent her the link to episode 11 where we actually discussed it.
Okay.
But you know, we talk about it a lot, so that'll be the beginning. Hopefully, she'll see it and watch some other ones. So yeah, that was it. So does anyone else have a question or comment for Brother Craig? Question or comments going once, going twice. Okay, Brother Craig, closing comments.
Oh, just hey man, thank you guys for attending, and you know, these things, these are concepts that the Creator has put on me for over 3 decades, and I have a lot of case analysis to validate all. Hey, today I got a call from one of my colleagues. She said, "Be expecting a call." An apology.
Okay.
And I said, from who? And she said, from Brother Jay. I said, Jay who? And she said, Attorney Jay Florence. I said, what he calling and apologizing to me for? He said, man, what you tried to tell him about these Negro female that he was connected with, and you know, he damn near to get his law license suspended. I said, what's this? He don't need to call me. My point of saying that is, I have been doing this work for a long time. And it seemed like it was just yesterday. God damn, I'm about to be 55.
Time flies, don't it?
It seems like it was just yesterday for real. And you know, it's so unfortunate that people like Attorney J. Antonio Florence, who I see so much potential in, make so many bad decisions because he wants to shake things up here in the city of Shreveport. But Negro, there's a way you got to go about doing it. And you can't be reckless. Yeah. Especially when you got goddamn license to consider. Yeah. When you got certificate, you know, to consider. When you got a regulatory agency hovering over you, you know. Yep. And I'm good. I don't backtrack. When you tell me that you are willing to be reckless in your decision making with people who ain't got no resume, no receipt, no references, no platform, hey, I'm good. You go on and roll with that. I'm rolling with the Creator and the ancestors. And I'm just gonna do the goddamn work. Yeah. Whether it be dads on duty, my stepson's school to prison pipeline. My work is verified. my colleague, Dr. Brother Willie Bradford said, Craig, you don't need to be arguing with these Negroes on Facebook. Nigga, he said, Negro, you got a book of verifiable evidence. I say, Willie, we're cut from different cloth.
Yeah.
I love destroying these savages. I love destroying them. Although most of them pretty much know not to come for me on social media. So I said all that to say, I thank everybody for participating in this Zoom, as each week we seek to bring high level information to you guys that you're not going to find anywhere else.
Yep.
And that's the gist of this. Join up, link up with Brother Tamani as we build this Black Gold Nation.
Amen, amen. So I'll close it out this. If you catch one episode of the Revolutionary Code, you understand that Brother Craig is most certainly unique, gifted, highly intelligent in what he does. I say that we are fortunate and blessed to be here at the same time that he is. But we got to be real in the fact that he's only one brother. He can't do everything. The lane that he's in, the lanes that he's in, he's most certainly masters in those lanes, but he's one brother. If anything happens to him, somebody got to keep it going. And we have to find other people who are just as strong as he is in other lanes, because we got to be free. So what the Black Gold Nation is doing is looking for as many Brother Craigs as possible in other lanes so we can be free. And of course they exist. We just got to go find them. Brother Craig is not the only person in a leadership position in the Black Gold Nation. There are others, but we need more than he and the few that we have. We need other Black people who understand that this thing is about power, who understand that nobody's going to give us anything. And if we're going to take it, we got to be serious, we got to be committed, and we have to know what the heck we're doing. So we invite you to not only come back to the Revolutionary Code, but go to our website, blackgoldnation.com, and learn more about what we're doing and help us with this national election. Because as Brother Craig just said, we got work to do. We got to build this thing that nobody's going to do for us. And you can't do it if you don't understand what you're doing. And you can't do it if you're following people who don't understand what they're doing. So you know, I think that Brother Craig is on this planet for a reason. And I think we're blessed to be in his midst for a reason. And it's not just to always listen to him. We got to do what he is laying out for us to do, because that's how we build power and that's how we're going to be free. But again, he's one brother in a few lanes. We need other people who know what they're doing in agriculture and foreign policy and child education and spiritual development. We need a bunch of stuff. We got to build a nation. Everything the white man has, we got to have, but it has to be for us. Like Brother Craig often says, when it comes to entertainment, we have to have the edutainment equivalent to all the white man's entertainment, because all of that stuff is a distraction to keep you not focused on building your own power. So we invite you to come back because we want you to come back, and we need you to come back because we are only as strong as our weakest link. And we don't have too much time to be weak. So we want you to be here every Thursday. We want you to visit the website and find out what's what. We want you to not only support us as we support Brother Craig to do what he's doing in Shreveport, Louisiana, but Shreveport is going to be the model city that we send all of our children to learn about the importance of political power. And that's going to be the model city that we're going to send all of our corporate grassroots revolutionaries in training so that we can do what we need to do around the country as he's about to do in Shreveport. So on that note, always remember that no one can do everything, but if everyone does something, everything will get done. And absolutely always remember that nothing is more sacred than the empowerment and freedom of Black people, because the Black people don't make it. I don't care what you're into, you ain't gonna make it because you're Black and your group is behind. So again, as Brother Craig said, thank you guys very much. God bless, and we hope to see you next week. Y'all have a good one. Peace.